All right, art one, you guys have finished doing this sort of pencil creature drawing, which you guys were creating an illusion. This might be backwards, but you're creating an illusion of a 3D form out of lines and shading. That's what we did here. So we're now going to take this complicated drawing that you guys were successful in, and we're going to complicate it even further by creating a woven animal. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take something complicated and we're going to break it down step by step so that you guys can do this. So the first step to creating this, let me see it, if you guys can see it. No. First step in creating this woven animal is to talk about a weaving, right? What is something that's woven? How do we weave something? And then we're going to draw that. So today, this video is going to focus on this first step. All right, so to do this, you guys are all going to get this worksheet. And it's showing you what a weaving looks like and then how to do, or what the drawing of the weaving looks like. And you guys are going to create this on this side. So where it is black is where you guys are going to make a weaving. So you guys need 8 little pieces of paper. All right, so we're going to set up the weft and the weave. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get 4 vertical pieces. Right? Try to keep even spacing, and then piece of tape to hold them all at the top. Boom. All right. So now to weave your horizontal strips, it's going to go under and then over, and then under and then over. So you just lay this down. Put those on top. And now it's going to be the reversed. So if it was under this one, it's going to go over this one. If it was over this one, it's going to go under this one. So now I'm going to lift this up, put the next strip of paper down. Now I'm trying to leave even spacing between because we're going to be drawing that. Now I'm going to do the opposite. Now I'm going to lift every other one up, then switch it each time. Lay this down. And the last ones, lift up. Oh gosh, it's moving. Lift up. Lay that last piece of paper down. Okay, now I want to tape this. I only need to tape it on one more side to really hold those horizontal strips. If you want to add another piece of tape, you can. Want that to be secure here. All right, so now I've got my 4 woven strips vertically and horizontally. So the next step is drawing them. I need a pencil. Got pencils out. Oh, I need one with an eraser. Okay, I'll make sure you have a pencil with an eraser for this. So the way we're going to start is just by drawing vertical parallel lines, right? So when I'm looking at the width of that first strip of paper over here. So that's 1 strip of paper, and then you have your negative space, and then you have 2 more lines that are parallel. Then you have your, so if you want to help understand your negative space, you can kind of fill it in because I made that black for a reason. And then you've got your parallel lines. 1 more negative space. And then 1 more strip of paper. Now we're going to be erasing, so I would not push super hard with your pencil. All right, now we got to start doing our horizontal. So I'm looking at the distance of the paper. It looks like it starts about there. I'm just going to draw it all the way across. How wide is that paper? And then I can say, okay, negative space, negative space, negative space. Next, on that next piece of paper, it's kind of angled a little bit. It's not totally straight. So I'm going to try to draw that because I'm drawing from observation here. Kind of angled. And then negative space. negative space. We're going to fill this in better in a little bit. Next one is angled going down, going the opposite way. Can't see that. You can't see that. That's okay. All right, so it goes up there. Draw two parallel lines. And then I'm going to block in negative space, negative space, negative space. You can also just do an X, right? All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces of paper. Need my last one here. Last piece of paper. Oh, made it too skinny. Okay. So now I need to start. Now I just have a whole bunch of lines. It doesn't really make sense. What I need to now distinguish is where is the paper overlapping? Where is it going over, under, over, under? So you have this guide here as a reference. When I photocopied it, you can tell the lines disappeared. So I drew back on top to kind of show you what this, right here, the paper is going over this paper, and now it's going under. Now it's going over, and now it's going under. So it's just a pattern, right? So to create that pattern, now here, I'm gonna hold this up so you can see it. I would draw these lines, and then here I would draw horizontal. Now here I would draw vertical, and then horizontal. Right? So I'm just creating a pattern. Pattern is something that's going to repeat. So what I can do here is I can erase all of these intersecting lines. So it's just going to look like that photocopy of all these white strips of paper. And then I can go in, I can draw that pattern. Uh-oh, I made my line too dark. And this is something that some people are going to understand, and then some people might struggle with this, and that's okay. Just because we struggle with something isn't something bad, it's just more of a challenge. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see what I just did. Oh, missed a line. Okay, I'm going to keep erasing. So you guys go ahead and erase all of your intersecting lines. Hi. Are you in this class?
According to my counselor, I am today.
Awesome. All right, I'm making a video and I'm not your teacher, so go sit down, and when Espinoza comes in, you can introduce yourself to him, okay?
Right.
Cool. Still erasing. All right, so now it kind of looks something like this. Looks like an apartment building with windows, right? All right, so what we're going to start to do now is draw the lines to create the pattern that I showed you on this side, right? So we want to see the paper going under and the paper going over, and the paper going under and the paper going over. All right, so I'm going to start this right here, and I have my guide right there. So this vertical strip is going under, right? So it has these horizontal lines here showing that. So I'm going to put those horizontal lines back in on that drawing. Then it's a pattern. So if it's going under here, it's going to go over there. So if it's going over, I'm going to see the vertical lines. Draw this kind of up, right? Vertical, horizontal. So since it's vertical here, the next time it reaches the paper, it's going to be horizontal. Let me go get a. All right, there, that's a little easier. So here it's going over and then under. So it's going to go vertical here. All right, so now I'm going to switch when I get here. Since I have vertical lines drawn there, I'm going to go horizontal this way. Espinosa, you got a new student. All right, so here we go. We're going over. Hang on, we'll just say vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. All right, we did it for that one piece of paper. So let's continue this pattern here. Since there's horizontal here, there's going to be vertical there. There's vertical here, horizontal there, vertical. Boom, got that strip woven. All right, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Wait a second. All right, so we got horizontal, vertical. You see that? Horizontal, vertical. All right, a few couple things to finish this off. What we're going to do is we're going to make the edges look torn and ragged. And again, you have that example on the back. The trick here is to keep it organic or natural looking, which means you don't want to do the same thing to each one. I'm just going to do a couple just to show you. I'll try to hold this up. So I'm going to make that kind of ragged. Looks like flames. Okay, so you're going to do that to all the edges of your papers. Because when we do our animal, we're going to be doing this again on those edges. And then these negative spaces, you're going to fill them in dark to contrast with that white paper. Another way to fill them in dark is to use a black marker. Black marker. So I'll try to have some black markers out. But filling the negative space with a solid black marker is going to add contrast to the white woven strips of paper. If you have a good black marker that actually works, it's even better. All right, and then the last step is shading, because we're creating an illusion of a 3D form. This is flat, but when we do this with the animal, this is 3D. With lines, so we have our lines, but now we're also shading. So you got to think about it everywhere your paper overlaps. So here, this paper is overlapping there. So I'm going to shade by keeping my marks close together. And then you're going to get lighter and lighter and lighter as you go out. Same thing up here. Push hard, keep it close together, get lighter and lighter. Push hard, keep it close together, get lighter and lighter. You can use your finger. We also have those blending stumps. Or you can use a tissue, wrap a tissue. Well, I don't have tissues, but if you had a tissue, you could wrap that around your finger. That works just as well. All right, so in the end, you're going to create this illusion of it looking like woven paper. The edges are all going to be torn, fill in your negative space, and then shade everywhere the paper overlaps. And then you're done with this.